I'd like to stand here and say that I didn't see myself ending up in this exact moment, but the truth is, I feel like I've been preparing for this day for a long time. Yet no amount of preparation could soften the blow of losing Nate. Not in that moment, and not in the weeks since. It's in the silence now, when everybody has stopped asking, are you okay, that you realise the finality of where we are and the hole that has been left. Nathan and I often talked about death, probably more than what people would find normal, but in a strange way, those conversations now give me comfort, feeling that he's at peace in one way or another. Our many deep chats about the afterlife often ended up with one of us joking about going to hell, followed by, well, at least it'll be hot and I'll see you there. So hopefully one day, Nath, I'll see you again. To call Nath a friend was an understatement. He was like a brother to me. We fought and he tested my patience more than my actual brother ever has. And yet he became part of my family. There are countless memories that I could share about Nath, but one of my most vivid was the day that I met him. I was 17, standing on the stairs at base station, which is where I met most of these guys, when Nath handed me a paper coupon that said, "This card entitles you to one free hug." He stepped back, opened his arms wide, and just waited. And I couldn't even tell you after that how we became friends, but I'm very grateful that we did. Nath was mine, my brother's, and his wife Mia's travel companion through Europe, where he drank too many shots of Cipro one night and meowed at me like a cat in Greece. There's a great video of this. Drank cocktails with me on my first business class flight and explored Kakar National Park with me on my 32nd birthday. It'd be nice if it was the 23rd. His passing has left a void in me that I wasn't prepared for. The hardest moments right now are the quiet ones, especially driving in the car, as this is where we had most of our conversations. Me driving because I knew a call with Nath was never going to be quick. I'd check in to see how he was doing, and before I knew it, we'd be deep into another long dialogue that seemed to have no end. Realising that I can't call him anymore has left me feeling empty. And if I'm honest, really mad at him. There's so much that I've wanted to share with him over the past few weeks, and so much that I would have loved his advice on. I did, however, promise him that I'd play only terrible music at his service. Luckily for him, his friends are kinder than I am. However, I've managed to sneak something in that I hope you guys all enjoy.
Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you, Nikki, so much for organising all this. Jared introduced me to Nathan about 13 years ago. Nathan told me one of his typically horrendous jokes, and from there it was just love at first sight. I remember leaving the gym with him one day, and he's just randomly approached a bunch of African boys and said, with no care in the world, and telling them that they had a huge appendage and it wasn't fair. And why did that happen? And I was mortified, about to text my family going, I'm about to die, but thanks. And they all just laughed and shook his hand and high-fived. And that was typical of Nathan. He just had a way with people. One second. No matter his own issues in life, he had always welcomed help, everyone that needed help, including myself and my family, and I'll never forget it. Now, I was hoping one day I'd be able to help him with his issues, but unfortunately we ran out of time. Anyone else who's shown his generosity to will know, Nathan, that that's who he was deep down. And I'll miss you, mate. Until we meet again, happy birthday.
Guys, I just want to thank a few people, and I'm going to speak directly to Nathan after that. First, I want to thank and acknowledge the following people. Trisha Odgers, 40 years ago today, you brought a hairy little bundle of joy into our lives, and for that I'll forever be grateful. Pat, you'll always be, and you will always and forever be the love of Nathan's life. And I hope wherever you guys are, you're happy and at peace. Berwick Church of Christ, thank you for letting us gather and remember Nathan's place of worship. Church has been amazing helping organise the day, and I ask if anyone can spare a donation, it would be greatly appreciated. Directly to Matt and Keish, thank you for being of service to nature in its final days. I know you would have appreciated and I'm incredibly grateful for all the help and time you guys have given. Thanks, Matt. Abby? Thank you for loving and caring today. With all these qualities that you had. We've already heard a couple today. Weird guy. Thank you. I truly believe you made a positive difference in his life, and for that I'll forever be grateful to you. Thank you. Nick? You've been such a trooper and the mother figure all us boys have needed over the last month. Thank you for pushing us for answers, organising most of today, and keeping us all in mind. Say it would not be possible without you, mate, and I know Nate made the right call putting you in charge. Gardner, thank you for taking Nate's babies, mate. I'm so grateful Coops and Remy have found a home together with someone so close to their dad. Thanks, man. Nate's Wolfpack, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for the hugs, the teary conversations and keep me in check whilst we walk this road together. Nate saw all you guys as brothers, and I'm going to miss him spinning his tales about all your adventures. And to all the partners of Wolfpack, specifically, and all the partners here today as well. Thank you for holding us, loving us, holding us up when we couldn't. You guys are the real heavy pieces today. This one's going to get you guys. Jerry, thank you, mate. Thank you for all the love, the support, and the shoulder that I've used so many times over the last 10 years. What you and Nate had was so special. If I had a relationship half as amazing as the relationship you had with him, I'd be a happy man. Thank you for letting Nate beat you at Street Fighter 2. You are a champ. I hope they're here, but the Choice Scenario crew, Alex and Kate and all the staff who work with him, Nate loved working with Choice and generally saw you guys as family. Thank you for the fruitful and long ride. The SJD crew, to all the Keats in the room. Nate always spoke so highly of his time with you guys, and like Choices saw you guys as family. And a massive thank you to everyone in attendance. Thank you all for just loving the great man. Nate, this is from me to you. Odgers, I love you. The moment I heard about this ragtag sales guy writing awesome numbers with a dark sense of humour in a medal in fitness, I knew we'd hit it off. The second I walked in an area, I could see the low view. Cheeky confidence tongue firmly planted in cheek, testing every little bit of foreign knowledge I knew to try and tie one over on me. I was in awe of you, of your knowledge, of your energy, of your kindness, of the time you'd give to anyone, of any walk of life with no judgment. I would work in the store for hours just watching them learning from a true master of his craft. And eventually I was in awe of a brother I was lucky enough to choose. I can't believe it's been over 10 years of friendship, mate. But as they say, time flies when you're having fun. I know you weren't a fan, mate, but happy birthday, my brother. I'm going to miss you more than a fat kid loves cake. Mate, I love you, brother. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
So I didn't write anything, Jared fashion. Let's try and pump it up a little bit. Let's not all get too sad. So I knew Nathan for about 36 years, I think it was, kindergarten. And pretty much from then on, I spent a lot of time at Nathan's, to a point where we went through high school, we did BMX riding, we did terribly on my half. Collected cards, comics, everything I got into, Nathan got into, everything Nathan got into, I got into. Most of the things, some of the things he got into were weird. So, anyway, everything I did from teenage years, primary school to teenage years, we would always there. I was always at Nathan's. It was like Nathan never come to mine because he didn't like staying away from home too much, but it's all good. But then when we're in our 20s, we'd go past together, we'd start partying, and there's a reason I don't own a house, and it's because I partied with Nathan too much. But in saying that, it was an amazing 36 years. He was a unit. I definitely am glad I met him. He was the best mate anyone could ask for. He was really an amazing person. And we just, it's a shit time now, but he would just want us to celebrate his life. So let's focus on that a bit more if we can, and not get too sad, and let's enjoy the time that we did have with Nathan, because he was a special unit. So that's all. I'm going to leave it at that.
How you going on, Bill? Known Nathan probably the longest.
Not probably.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe 3 months in the hospital, was it, Mum?
3 months at the health centre sister.
Health centre. So my mum's name's Vicky. Pat, Nathan's mum, become best friends for life. So
He was like a brother to you.
Definitely.
a lot of background. These guys, maybe Jared saw, but yeah, I'm good. He had a dad. His dad was John, avid drinker. Probably where Nathan got his habits from. But they all spent a lot of time at our place when we were growing up. So John ended up splitting up with Pat. Pat became a single mum and took care of Nathan. And she done a good job. During this time, Pat would also look after us during school, feed us and all that. She done a really good job there. That she would do. I saw Jared a lot. Me, Jared, and Nathan were pretty much the duo, I'd say. There's always, I found a bit of competition for Nathan, and it was me and Jared sort of competing who got most of Nathan. Do you agree?
Peacock.
Yeah, peacock. And that was known, but you could see it was happening. So you either just gave up or just folded and, went for it. But, we done a lot of day trips in the Corolla. Fuckload of Alpine cigarettes got smoked in that car. Ran out of fuel plenty of times, pushing the Corolla up. But for sure there was always Coke in the car. And
Coca-Cola.
yeah. And one thing an addict to an addict, they'll drink warm Coke and an addict will drink warm beer, and that's what happened in the end. I haven't seen Nathan for quite a while. These boys were taken after him. I met the missus and we parted our own way. had built a family and stuff. And one thing Pat did, which I didn't like, was wouldn't tell what's really going on with Nathan. Particularly the visits when she'd go over to the old ladies to pick up the chop cigarettes. But that was her just protecting her son, and that's what she does. It is what it is. You know, had I known it was this bad, you know, probably would have put a bit more effort in. But yeah, when Pat passed away, I said to Nathan, look, you got no one now. He goes, yeah. I go, what do you got? He goes, I got nothing. Just my mates. And I said, I told you for years, you got to get a missus, try and get a family, because they provide you grounding. The grounding is, us men, we're all wild. If we're let go, we'll just lose it. And the places we visited when we were 18 and 19, you either come back from those places or you don't. And that's all the nightclubs. So yeah, where I'm going with this story is, the last 3-4 months, he was calling me quite a bit, maybe twice a week, more than he'd normally call me. Sometimes I'd miss his call, we'd have his chats. He'd always be drunk, intoxicated on something. So I'd have to, you know, level down with him and try and get on his level. And he was always fishing for why he was hurt, you know, why he's the way he is. So we were running through our adventures, scenarios, people we met, and he'd bring up some stupid shit. And I said, mate, that's not what happened. You're trying to fish for something that didn't happen. So I said to him, I said, look, I believe you went downhill when your dad died. And plus he had a breakup as well with a long-term girlfriend. But that breakup, I believe, finished him off. That was his, you know, his concrete boot. You know, he couldn't get up from. The reason I'm bringing this up is he started to reconnect with his dad, John, in Canberra. Unfortunately, he had cancer. I think he had liver cancer for being a alcoholic. He could manage it, but years of abuse took his body in the end. And he got a call up one day and said, oh, look, you know, the old man's only got a few more days left. Do you want to come up and see him off? And he always said to me, oh, one thing my dad has never said to me is, I love you, son. And that's what he said before he died. And I think that was the start of the end for him. And I don't think he could come back from that. I don't think Pat could have hidden that. Addiction's an addiction. He had plenty of help. But in the end, everyone, myself, has been addicted to something, and if you don't want to get off it, no one can get you off it. So it was up to him if he wanted to make the change. Unfortunately, he didn't have anything to make the change for, because he never saw himself worthy of change. So if someone isn't worthy of change, why will they push to make a change? They're just going to continue on. He got a couple of really good jobs, shitload of money come in, and he lived a good life, you know, he got his hair done, his eyebrows done, went overseas, done his eyebrows too, yeah. The whole thing, man, looked like something out of Botch, but proper job. and in the end, I said to him on his deathbed, I said, mate, it was all for nothing. You're here now. And it's just a shame because as kids, we used to say, you know, oh, what's life going to be like at 20? What's life going to be like at 30?
Didn't want to grow up.
Yeah. But not dying at 39. No one prepares for that. So there's heaps of good stories with Nathan back when we were in teens, doing runners in Melbourne Central, Pigeon Chic and Chase. That was all good fun. Running across the train track lines and going BMXing, just being little brats. You know, eating at the chicken shop, down on what's that road? Where the Long Barrel place is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Parade. We spent a lot of time there. And yeah, it's just a shame, that's all. With the right guidance, you know, Pat did the best she did. Unfortunately, you know, this is the outcome. And it takes two to tango, and Nathan's at fault for it at the end. He was the one in control. Pat was only guiding her. He wouldn't listen to me. Yeah,
It's all good.
I know.
We all.
I just, like, he called me Saturday night, I missed the call, and, you know, I would have liked to know what he said, but that's about it. So, rest in peace, buddy.
Hey guys. So I've written way too much. I like
You gotta turn
the
on.
other guys.
Just leave our height.
Oh boy. Alright, so I'm at Odge a little later in high school than everyone else, like later than these two. So it was year 7 or year 8. My memory's a bit hazy for some reason. And yeah, so in year 7 or year 8, in certain classes when the roll would be called, a mysterious name would be beckoned for but never answered, Nathan Odgers. And other people knew who he was, like from primary school or whatever, and they'd reply, oh, he's sleeping, or he's got chronic fatigue, or he's never coming. So high school gets dull pretty quickly, and the promise of a new addition to a class, especially one shrouded in such mystery and legend, made my imagination run wild. And like I said, those early days of high school get dull pretty quickly. And one day, this boy who wasn't there, he had risen. He was standing with my friends next to the canteen. And I say this with zero exaggeration or hyperbole. Nothing my young imagination could have prepared me for Nathan Odgers in the flesh. He wore no school uniform. He stood before me in a shining Damani Dada jersey. I don't know if anyone remembers those. Baggy 90s jeans, and I mean like baggy. Face was bedazzled in piercings. It might have just been the one, but whatever. And his famous Liberty spikes, which everyone would remember. And he was new metal before that was even a word. And his face had like a mixture of nervousness and defiance. I'll never forget. In typical high school tradition, everyone was sort of sizing him up, but he was sizing him up more. His eyebrows having far more influence than anyone else's. And I knew I had a class with him later that day, and I was, pretty excited, waiting with bated breath. However, he went home at lunchtime, and our first class together was not to be. Flash forward a bit. Due to our shared friends, taste in music and BMX, we made plans to hang out during the school holidays. And he took me into the city to get my eyebrow pierced at the ripe old age of 14, which I still have the holes for, thanks very much. And he took me to a shop called Smoke Dreams. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Where I got my first Rage Against the Machine t-shirt, which led to a very big t-shirt collection. And hanging out with Odge, for the first time in my young teenage life, I felt cool. So we speak over the phone for hours, playing each other different MP3s over the landline. For the younger crowd, that means music and telephone. He introduced me to Metallica. I remember we listened to the entirety of Justice for All just over the phone one night. I played him Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I didn't expect him to like so much. I think it brought out a softer side, helping him appreciate the gentler things in life. A brief respite from, young male teenage aggression and frustration and all that. But really, the intro riff just seemed like it would be fun to play, which we did. And we'd hang out every day those school holidays, well, maybe not every day, but. And he showed me how to read guitar tabs that we print off the internet and try to play together. So the next logical step was starting a band. Now, obviously, we were too unorganised for this to ever happen, but we tried, and we met this random dude over MIRC, if anyone remembers what that is. Probably not. It was this random chat program. Anyway, turned out to be a total psychopath who couldn't sing at all. And we called our band Genocide, spelled with an X, until we learned the actual meaning of the word, and thought it was probably good to come up with something else. And at the time, my family were hosting a Japanese exchange student named Yosuke Suzuki, so we settled on the band name Yosuke Suzuki's Uptown Girl for some reason. Anyway, I never got around to actually buying a guitar before my BMX obsession took over, and the band never became a thing, but we still talked about it the last time we hung out, starting a band again, and anyway. Not long ago. As the years rolled on, hormones took over, and I followed Odgers' charismatic lead as he introduced me to how to talk to girls outside of high school. He let me know without hesitation if what I was wearing would repel the opposite sex, which it often did, and still does. And while we'd already been on our way to where we were going, and obviously it'd be too late for me to change, and I just have to live with the disbelief that girls might not be into my Mambo t-shirts and cargo shorts and my cool new eyebrow ring. So moving right along, I never had a dull moment with Odge. Like, we could always talk until we ran out of time, never running out of words. He'd always get a laugh out of me, either with an innocent, silly voice, like doing his cat's voice, or a very racist joke in front of a group of total strangers. He was self-conscious, but at the same time, gave zero shits. Even the last time I was lucky enough to see him at Sam's 40th late last year, we sat together at the front of the party by ourselves, still just talking about everything and nothing, sharing our miseries and our happiness, and just looking up at the stars, and again, the only thing stopping our conversation being time. The world's a little bit worse without him, a little less interesting without him in it, but what can we do other than take the best parts of our friend and move forward and forge new friendships and use those parts to try and make things a bit brighter. And they say that grief is just love that has nowhere to go, but there's looking around the room, there's plenty of places for it to go. So you were the boy who wasn't there, then you were, now you're not again, but you'll always be right here, my boy. And I've got to do this. Thanks,
To Nathan, my exclusive. Nathan, my love, look like make my year a little brighter. I hope you know how much your presence meant to me. When we first met on New Year Eve 2023, I had no idea you would become this important to me. Somewhere in the midst of our conversation, I fell in love with you, and I still find myself falling for you every day. With you, every silence felt full, necessary and comforting. I'm so thankful for you. You taught me so much about living with purpose, joy, about laughing through the chaos, and even about speaking proper English. You taught me how to walk with purpose, chin up, shoulder back, You share your passion, Metallica, Slipknot, Marvel, and fun fact YouTube videos. You show me how to laugh at life absurdities like the brokenness of the world, debates over 50 genders, COVID vaccination, and even the cost of flooring. I remember our first dining out day. We were sitting at Kin Thai restaurant at Fountain Gate. You cracked a joke by pointing at a random man walking by. You said he used to be a criminal. I asked how you knew, and you said because he's black. Yep. Another joke that you told stuck with me. The one about your trip to Canada. You were on a cable car packed with people coming down from a snowy mountain. It was so crowded, and you make this shocking joke. This is how the Jews fell in the gas chamber. And you said everyone was shocked, but couldn't have been clear. You were also the first Caucasian man I knew who could handle a massive amount of chili with you add to everything. Everything. There were so many little adventures that have turned into memory I'll carry forever. I'll miss your laugh, listening to your dark joy, the deep conversation that left us feeling understood. You share your on-guard moment with me, the nights when sadness, loss, and frustration became too much. Those late nights when you pour out your heart, I simply listen, reminding you that you weren't alone. Somehow I always managed to steady you when life weight became too heavy. You were everything I wanted, kind, thoughtful, intelligent. You could read my mood just by the way I walked into a room. You made me feel seen in a way no one ever had before. We laughed at the same joke, finished each other's sentences, and talked for hours about everything and nothing. With you, everything felt easy, like we were meant to fight each other. I promise to stay through every bad and every good one. I promise to grow with you and love you through every phase we might have faced together. We have dreams and plans, buying a house in Officer with a big backyard for the dog, a 3-door garage where you can keep all your toys, especially the Audi RI you wanted. We imagine a future together, building a family and a home filled with love. But the timing wasn't right. We were building something fragile in the middle of chaos. You were busy fighting your own battles, trying to fix your life, while I was holding everything together for both of us. Love was there, so much love, but sometimes love isn't enough to fight against the weight of the world. And that was hurt the most, knowing it was a lack of feeling, but a lack of timing that pulled us apart. You always say I'm the yin to your yang. I was both your supporter, your financial advisor, and your partner in every way I could. I still think about what we could have been if life had been different. Maybe in another time, in another version of us, we could have made it. You are my sadness, my hope, but most importantly, my love. Goodbye for now, my exclusive, my Solenia, my Wolverine, my Baba. I'll see you again one day. Only just Baba.
In true Nathan style and Jared, look, I've got nothing prepared, plus I'm gonna wing it. But yeah, friends like Nathan are a rare treasure. I think. It was almost like a contradiction in terms in a lot of ways, in that, yeah, he was always so outgoing, so confident. He had this magnetic charisma. He totally brought out confidence in me when I first met him. Very similar to Luke, around, yeah, maybe. I was quite shy then, and just becoming friends with Nathan, and through, he just inspires confidence in you, just through his natural cheeky confidence. And that was definitely the case for me. And I guess, the closer you got to Nathan, I guess the deeper you saw, the deeper he let you in and shared, and just the depth of, I guess, pain and pain and hurt that he carried with him deep down, and just could never seem to get true healing from. But yeah, I totally agree with Nikki that he was like a brother. I've got 3 sisters, I don't have a brother, but yeah, I felt like Nathan definitely was a brother, like a brother to me. We went through so much stuff over the years, from just those early ratty Ashwood days, getting up to petty crimes, like Bill was saying.
Ratty 20-year-old.
Yeah, ratty 20-year-olds. You know those close friends when you have these awesome moments, these nights that just become like little tropes or legends that whenever you catch up, you kind of mention those silly little things or dumb little sayings or noises. One night, he lived near Ashwood College, and High Street Road coming down towards Ashwood, there's a big hill with a park, and I can't remember exactly who was there, but we had some sort of flammable liquid, and so we would wait in the bushes in the dark until a car was coming down the hill, and we'd quickly run across the road to a big line of it and set it on fire just as the car was coming down towards the hill. And we found it, we thought it was hilarious. Most cars just stopped and waited it out. There was at least
When we
one.
bought the Kiro too, didn't we, just to do that?
Yeah, we got a big can. Just really smart, yeah. Might have been pre-CC. Anyway, at least one car that drove through the flames, which was a bold choice, but thankfully it didn't blow up. And then in the end, I think the taxi driver jumped out and started chasing us through the park. So didn't catch us, so that's a win. It's a good time. Another night, this is just a random little night Nathan and I had, which we would talk about, even up until recently, where we just ended up hanging out at his place once, and he had this bottle of Jim Beam, and we swear this bottle was magic. There was something, it was blessed, it was magical, there was something about it, because it was him and I hanging out, and we just started doing shots, and we both swear to this day that we just kept going till we 10, 20, I don't know the number, but there was like this much left in the bottle of Jim Beam, and it just kept going, it didn't run out. But you had to be there, I guess. to us it was a magical bottle of Jim Beam. And the best thing about that night was Pat had this ridiculous long black wig. And so when Nathan went to the toilet, I put it on and waited in the dark behind the door. When he opened the door, I'd never seen anyone just jump and shriek like he did. And then I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. And then, of course, 10 minutes later, he got me back the exact same way. And yeah, good times. But that's what, Nathan, all of us, I think, just have so many stories and memories that we will treasure and hold on to forever. And I'm going to miss, ever since, as long as I can remember, from the 20s, we would just have hours and hours, late night conversations, just get deep spiritual conversations. We went through some messy years together, and then I found Jesus and found joy and hope in faith in God, and Nathan was always really curious and really fascinated by that. We had so many chats about that, and in the end, as Matt mentioned, I know he found his peace with God, and I do believe it was a great source of encouragement to him. I think he found hope and strength in it. unfortunately, as we all know, he just had these demons that he just couldn't overcome. And I just wanted to, I guess I'll just finish on, I know we've spoken about it, Nikki, Abby, all of us guys, like we love Nathan as best as we could in our own different ways. There's always the what ifs questions. Bill said, no, could have. There's this sense that I wish I would have done more. I wish I could have saved him. I wish I could have. Maybe if I'd answered that call. Maybe if I'd spent more time or went round there or whatever. But I just an encouragement. Just wanted to say again, even to myself, that like I couldn't have saved him. You couldn't have saved him. Abby couldn't have saved him. You loved him so much, and I'm so grateful for your love, all of you guys, how much you loved him and supported him. He made his own decisions and got him in the end. But I miss him so much. I don't think I've come to terms with him not being around. That's going to take some time to be real. But I do believe that he is in total peace, in total joy. He's got that peace and joy now that he's wanted with his mum. So I hope you can find some peace in that too.